And we're back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rollsicle. Okay, so we have some explaining of ourselves to do. This is a Nintendo Switch 2. And I was actually pretty pro in the camp of not picking one of these up. I was kind of back and forth. I haven't gotten a console on release ever. Anyways, I realized I completely messed up the intro. My name's Nathaniel. I'm one of the hosts here at the channel. I'm joined by my lovely co-host, and Ashley. Say hi.
Hi, everyone.
She is off screen to the side, not with as much to do in this other than just react over there and talk into the camera or talk into the microphone. But yeah, so to justify things and explain things a little bit, I was kind of in pro don't support this because there's a lot of things about the Switch 2 that are monetarily and like customer wise pretty like greedy and scummy and that sort of thing. However, it also does have a lot that seems to be going for it. There are definitely a lot of pros to the system. And I also think that a lot of what they're getting a lot of flack for are things other systems have been doing, namely PlayStation, Xbox, which are over there off camera. You guys can't see them, but we support those systems. So here we are supporting this one too. And then lastly, we decided to leave it up to chance. I did not want one bad enough to pre-order, and I also did not want to take away somebody's pre-order who wanted one bad enough. Because I've been in that boat. I wanted the PlayStation 5 so badly on release, and it took me like 3 months to pick it up. So I didn't want to do that to anyone. So we decided we're going to go to Best Buy. We're going to wait in the hopeful line. And if they manage to have what we want, we'll pick it up. And yeah, we're excited to unbox that for you today. We're going to go over a little bit of what we got, and then we're going to jump into things super quick. We're hoping to keep this video pretty short. Okay, so this is the Switch 2. This is what costs the most. This is the big shebang. This is the bundle that comes with the digital version of Mario Kart World, for those of you that can't see that. It is a digital copy of the game, so when we break into this, you don't expect a cartridge or anything like that. And, of course, if you do buy this, you're going to have to then download the game and wait a little bit to play it. But hopefully you have decent enough internet speed. I know some of the places I could plug this into that I have lived would have downloaded it in like 20 minutes. And some of the places that I could plug this into that I've lived would have downloaded it in 2 days. So, you know, it really depends. What else we picked up was this, which is the it's an off-brand or a third-party brand's Ultimate Starter Kit for the Nintendo Switch. We actually picked this up kind of for kind of a double whammy because it's made for Switch 2 and Switch 1, of which we picked up Switch 1 a while ago for Ashley that doesn't have a case or a screen protector or anything like that. So it's actually really nice in the sense that the screen protector that it comes with one for Switch 2, one for Switch 1, so we can use that on hers. And then the case can be used for either of them, so whichever one we might be taking portably, we can use the case for. The charging cable obviously could use all of them. I'm sure the car adapter can be. The thumbsticks, they include ones that fit both. And I think the game cartridge sizes are the same as the Switch one. So yeah, I think all of this is versatile for both systems, so we decided to just go and pick it up. We wanted another carrying case because she's been running around with hers without having a carrying case, so it's just been like, oh, I'm not using mine here, you can have mine. But other than that, we're going to be nice to pick this up. It feels pretty good, so we're excited to unbox that as well after the Switch. So if you're just here for the Switch, you guys can click off the video there. We understand. All right, those are the only things we actually picked up. The Best Buy experience was really nice. They had like all of this stuff laid out on a table, and you got to like pick what you wanted as much as 2 of each. So if you wanted to pick up the camera or some extra Joy-Cons or some Pro controllers, they also had like, what would you say, maybe 10 different amiibo options or something? Maybe it was more?
It was more than 10 different amiibo options. 10? It was probably 20.
Probably 20 different amiibo options that they had set out. Again, you could pick up to 2 of each of them, so you could really go ham. You could have spent, Lord, some
serious money.
You could have spent many, many thousands of dollars. They had all the games laid out there, too, that you could buy if you wanted the physical games. They also had the digital codes that you could buy if you wanted to buy digital codes of games. We didn't really pick up a whole lot of that because Mario Kart World is a game we're interested in. It comes bundled with the system. Other than that, we have Switch games that will be backwards compatible on this that we're planning to work through before we pick anything else up. But it was, shout out to Best Buy, a really great experience. I mean, honestly, phenomenal. The lady that was working there was also just the best. Like, one of the best retail workers I've ever seen. We did, because we bought enough stuff for 2 bags, get 2 different bags here. We got this, like, Mario-themed bag, which, honestly, knowing that in the future someday, hopefully we should have kids. I'm just excited to hang on to this and have a Mario themed bag that we can like use for birthday or something like that. I mean, that's
trick or treating.
There you go, trick or treating. And we also
come on, think of things here.
Have a Luigi bag, which is pretty sick. Pretty cool. Okay, and then the last thing is we each got one of these. It's like a commemorative coin. And I think you can open it up here. Yeah, you can open it up here. So we'll take a look at it opened up here at the end of the video. But I thought it was really cool that Best Buy 2025 commemorative Switch 2 coin. So we never forget what was honestly a really lovely experience. I mean,
honestly, it was.
Part of why we went, whether we got one or not, like part of the reason we left it up to fate and just said, hey, we're going to go in the hopeful line and see if we pick one up, was because I've never gotten the experience of like waiting out day one midnight release of a console. So whether I picked one up or not, the experience was going to be super worth it based on like what they did. They had such a phenomenal system.
No, they really did. They really did. They knocked out of the park. And we don't know your name, but the lady, if you work at Best Buy Tuscaloosa.
Oh my goodness.
And you were out there hyping us all up and getting us all in.
It was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal.
MVP. She was killing it.
And
the energy that woman had, wow.
The system that they had set up, because essentially what happened, as I get this set back up, essentially what happened is like as you arrived, they took you in for a little personal experience where everything was laid out on a table and you could just tell them what you wanted of each thing. This is the same Switch 2, the sticker for Mario Kart's on the back. You could just tell them what you wanted of each thing.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it was incredible.
Like, you had literally a Best Buy person there. They wrote our names down.
Wrote your name down, put you through the checklist, and then once 11 o'clock hit, because that's when the midnight release was here.
Central Time.
For Central Standard Time. Once that hit, you then just went in. They had your bundle basically made once it was your turn in line, and you just purchased it, swiped the credit card, paid way too much, and walked out of there with whatever you decided to buy. And if you, I mean, I don't know what it was, but I think there was a guy waiting in line before us that the lady very confidently was like, I think you have the biggest haul today. So I'm sure there were some people that got 2 of almost everything, you know, or something like that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
spent
that guy.
way, way too much money. But you know what? If you can afford that, more power to you. We're a post-college students. Okay, so.
We're opening it up, people. Be careful.
Jump into this thing. Well, it should open.
Did you open it upside down?
Well, you have to open that part, and then I think you flip it over.
Got it.
Right, because you can't really open it that way. All right, here we go. Shall we? All right, you guys might not be able to see into this right out the gate, but we're just going to...
You could turn it around.
Ooh, you can, actually. We're going to do it this way. All right, there we go. Oh, it's almost like a surreal experience. All right, shall we? So, we are not going to be turning on the console. We're going to have videos talking about the games, maybe reviewing it, all sorts of things like that after we plug it in and play. But this is purely an unboxing video. And, yeah. So, we're just going to kind of take a look at it. But...
Take things out of the packaging, all the good stuff.
So, these are the Joy-Cons. I'm just going to give one over here to Ashley so she can feel it and get her feedback. These feel... fancy.
These feel better than the old ones.
These feel fancy. I'm gonna admit that much. Like this feels like a nice. There's a pretty good click to the buttons here in the middle, which were really tiny before. Like really, like the size of the little magnet sections here at the end were probably the size of the buttons before. And then it's got almost like I'd call it a little heavier, right? Like.
Well, it's because this is metal. It's magnetic.
Right. But it's definitely heavier. You can see there is the optical sensor, which for those of you that don't know, the Joy-Cons can be used in mouse mode. So you can just set them down like that. And like, ooh, it's a pretty clean slide too.
I'm not gonna lie, it's not bad.
I'm gonna try it on the mat. On the mat. Because it's technically like battle mats are made of like mouse pad material. Yeah, that is a clean slide. That's a really clean slide. Let's feel the button feel. Okay, the buttons feel good, and then the joystick. Yeah, the joystick's pretty smooth. Now, it's not a Hollow Effects joystick, which is the best joystick style for avoiding stick drift, which is a massive issue for the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons.
Got it.
I mean, I think it was like 70-something% of Joy-Cons were going to experience stick drift at some point, which is
that's ridiculous.
Insane. It's so bad, Nintendo had to offer free repairs if you're like you can send them in for a free repair. It's anti-shake.
Okay.
Any Hoosiers. But yeah, no, these feel great.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Also, this little clip right here, that is what undoes the magnet.
Oh, thank God.
So that is how you...
Not that itty-bitty button.
Well, and you don't have to worry about it, like, sliding off the track.
Nope.
You know, like, when people first saw this, they were like, oh my goodness, it's gonna, like, break because the magnet's super easy. Well, people thought that sliding your original Joy-Cons off and on were gonna break.
There's a spot to get it out. It's right there. Here? Yeah.
People thought your original Joy-Cons were gonna break super easy by sliding in and out of it. This thing's also pretty hefty for how thin it is. I mean, here you can get a feel of the weight. Your hands out of the blanket over there.
I'm sorry, it's cold.
Now, I do like how, so you don't get confused, there is a
red and
color-coded...
Which is not even really red this time. It's like...
No, it's almost like an
peach.
orange. Yeah, it's like a peachy... Yeah, peach
I do like the blue. The blue on this one's better than the blue on the other one.
I'm going to stand by, the peach is probably the best descriptor of color there.
Yeah.
What I would say. Okay, so now, let's get an idea. So it tells you... It also has, plus. I don't know if you guys can see it, it's got a plus right there at the top.
For the top.
Which lines up with the top of the Joy-Con. So you know, okay, I'm putting it in and it's going to...
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, yeah, that's like, that's in there. Like that's, you can give that a little tug. I know you're not going to want to tug very hard, but like that's...
No, like that's sucker's in there.
And then like... You just press that, right?
Okay, and then
you got to put a little oomph into pressing it.
Well, it's because it's a massive magnet.
And then it comes apart.
Okay, good to know.
But yeah, you just take this bad boy there and
that's so nice.
That's a clean feel. Okay, so then now let's try it with the blue one. Let's try it with the blue one. You just kind of line it up. Bam.
That's crazy.
Press, pull it off. Yeah, that's super clean. Press, pull it off.
I also like the stand on the back of this one.
Yes. Now, that is something to talk about with like the OLED model and stuff. Oh my goodness, I'm getting like camera. Ooh. Okay, let's slide that off.
Y'all are gonna see our janky.
Okay, so you guys can see the reflection of my face there. I exist. Okay. Ah! Anyways, so this is the back of the console.
Yeah, like maybe don't set it flat down.
I don't want to get my fingerprints all over it. I mean, we're gonna have to wash it before we put a screen protector on it. But this is the back of the console, and the stand on this one. Way nicer than the original Switch is this like U-shaped design here.
Yeah, it's like an actual
and you can
stand.
kind of put it as far out or as far in as you want. Like you can literally put it to where it sits like flat and you're just playing it down like that, which again, you guys can see my face. Hello, that's kind of
nice.
Weird. That's kind of weird. But you can also stand it up, practically vertical if you wanted to.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that.
And that is essentially the same as the OLED. The OLED doesn't go as deep, so it doesn't go as far back.
Yeah.
But the OLED is actually fully connected back here, and I do feel like that gives it more support, but I don't know if the OLED one's metal. This is
metal?
I think.
Oh, you don't nails tip-tap on it. That sounds like metal.
It feels like metal. It's a thin metal, but it feels like metal. Okay. Well, now that there are fingerprints all over the screen, let's move on. So we are going to... Okay, so another thing, the only other thing I forgot to mention, this should be the new button, right? The C button is the like chat or community button or whatever it's called. But other than that, this feels nice.
I believe it.
This is a comfortable feeling console. They are seeing a lot of my face there. As I look, for the record, when they see my face, I'm talking into the microphone, which is off to the side, so that explains why my face is always directed to the side. You guys never see that part of these videos.
He was just talking to me. I'm over here.
Yeah, that too. Also talking here. Okay, so next section of what's in the box. Here, we open this up.
Ooh, look at that, our game.
This is our digital code.
It's so flimsy.
If you watched the video before... No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna... I would never do that. But yeah, so this is our digital code. We can show that off, scratch off for your download code. So this is for Mario Kart World. $80 game voucher code here. Isn't that crazy? It shouldn't be $80 to stand by it. But
period.
That's okay. Hopefully that does not become a standard and we can fight against it. For the record, I didn't pay $80 for it. And I would not have. If the only option was to get the base model, I probably wouldn't have
power cords.
Stretched for it. Well, I'm excited to use these because I haven't even seen a picture of them yet. The wrist straps that go in there.
I haven't seen those.
Yeah, I haven't seen those yet. Okay, so this should be our HDMI cord.
Woo!
There should be nothing fancy about this. This is just a standard HDMI cord. I mean, obviously it's capable of 4K output, but I think every HDMI cord made in the last decade is capable of 4K output. So
yeah, HDMI cable.
Isn't that crazy? What is the... Let's see, more plastic. I actually hang on to the plastic for the record because I store things back in exactly how they came when I move them.
Oh, well, you're going to be real disappointed when we move my Switch and I don't have any of it.
You got rid of it all?
I have the box. I don't know what you want from me.
Okay, so these are just all your warnings and yada yada.
Yeah, boring stuff.
I bet it's in here where it says don't microwave the consoles. So, you know, if you were thinking about microwaving your Switch too, I do not recommend it. I don't think it's a good idea. All right.
Each their own.
We will set that separator off to the side, but this I'm definitely not throwing away because that's just good for storing it in its sections. Okay, so here... Oh, this is interesting. So before, they were really tiny buttons, but I don't have an example of it.
Crap. You can pull off my Switch.
No, well, okay, yeah. I meant of the wrist strap coverings.
Oh, yeah, those are my house.
Okay, so before, you guys can see there, the buttons are so tiny, literally so tiny. But the wrist strap covers, which I have somewhere, but I don't think I have on me, they're in that case over there if you wanted to grab them, but you don't have to. They would make a button over it that has a little indent that presses the tiny button.
Got it.
So it turns this tiny button into a button that's about that big, right?
Yeah.
And that's what they would do before. So now the buttons themselves are significantly bigger.
Yeah.
And so it looks like the straps here don't even make new buttons. They just have they're just a hole, right?
Hey, we're gonna hold on to this for you.
So let's see how this feels, huh? So let's get this bad boy out. Another massive piece of plastic, because...
Plastic!
Sure, yeah. All right, let's figure out how this goes on.
Well, let's get the Switch back.
Okay, so now we have our Switch. You press this. Ooh. Take it off.
It's gonna go the way you have it right now. That's how it's going on.
This way?
Yep, there's magnets on it. Do you see it? Do you see?
Nope, it goes this way.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, because it says minus.
Oh,
you see that? So it's going to go that way.
Yeah, this is how you're supposed to use it in mouse mode.
That is correct. Because that actually has the slidey things for the mouse. You're so correct. But you can also wrist strap it.
Yep.
And then I assume this just pops off, or is there a button? Looks like there might be a button up here. I don't know.
Press the magnet button. The press.
That's so smart. Oh, those are magnets.
Yeah.
I'm a little... Sometimes I'm not the smartest. It's okay.
It's okay.
Okay, so this goes on this way.
Yep.
And then this one. Now, it looks like you can actually put them on in either direction because, if I'm not mistaken, this one has a plus, right? Like, it has a plus to put it on this way. So, like, if I wanted to, you could do that.
Oh, cool.
I don't know why you would, but
for
technically,
fun?
It looks like you can. Yeah, you can, if you want to.
Cool.
For what it's worth. Great. Okay, so I can just test it with this. We put it on, and this is the right Joy-Con, so this is ideal for mouse mode. That basically feels like a mouse.
I believe that.
Give it a feel.
I'll feel it later.
Okay, so feel it later. Yeah, her hands are still under the blanket, but that I can confirm basically that's as simple as using a mouse.
100%.
That's really nice. That is really nice. Okay. All right. So we're going to take this one out of its packaging, but we don't have to test it. I mean, it works the same way as the blue one. Swoop. Pieces of plastic. Whoop, whoop. All right, we're going to put these back on the Switch.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
That is much, one, easier, and two, more satisfying than before. Honestly, I mean, I was thinking about the Steam Deck, but the Steam Deck doesn't have removable controllers.
No, it does not.
The only thing that has removable controllers that we own are Switches, and they work the same way.
All right.
Moving on. Oh, we're going to need the...
Yep.
I shouldn't have put it back on. All right, so now we have this, which is the magnetic controller-shaped one, which I do actually have the crappy one that came with the Switch 1. Cannot really recommend that, but we can. I mean, it's fine, but... I mean, honestly, I will say, I think it's... When I would play my Switch 1, I would prefer to play with Joy-Cons just like this, so I could like move them as freely as I wanted to, rather than put them in the controller thing. So we'll see how well this feels, because not all of them feel phenomenal. It's still rather boxy. That's one of the issues we had before. Yeah, so it still feels pretty boxy.
Yeah.
Like, this is a fairly boxy controller. But I do like that. I'd say this feels a little better. The grips on the back of it feel a little bit better than the previous one. That is literally sitting right there. So I have felt it relatively recently. Alright. On to the next thing.
What even is left?
The dock.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
And then our power cords. I mean, I guess we can...
Ooh! Power cords.
Power cords! Ooh. I won't even take them out of the plastic.
No. Because we don't need to.
And the dock. Okay, so the dock this time has a different bottom for cooling, because it does run a little hotter of a console. The back of the dock here...
It looks nicer.
It does look nicer. Somehow, someway, the back slides off. I'll read the instructions to figure that out.
Why would the back slide off?
So that you can put your cords in. Your HDMI, your power cord.
Turn it over. Turn it over.
Those are USB-Cs, USB-A slots. The rest of it goes in here. But yeah, so the dock sits a little higher, I think, this time around than the previous one.
It's a bigger console.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the original.
I think it does sit a little bit higher than the previous dock. But all things considered, it's like rounded now, and I think
just looks nicer.
The back looks a little nicer, but other than that... Oh, there we go. That's how it pops off. So there's all of your HDMI, power, and internet cord, if you wanted to. I forget the name of the type of internet cord. So.
Ethernet?
Ethernet, thank you. My brain was saying optical cord, which might be a correct term, but I know Ethernet is correct, so good job. Thank you. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is the Switch 2. All things considered, I think it was a nice presentation.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty decent. It's simple. Yeah. Gets you what you need. They don't take up a lot of space. Like, props to the Switch for being in a pretty small box. I mean, obviously, PlayStation and Xbox need bigger boxes because they're bigger systems.
But still.
But, this thing's pretty tiny, all things considered. So, toss that over to the side. We're going to set the dock off to the side. And if that is all you're interested in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is a Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch 2, yeah. Now, one last thing that we do have, in case you were curious, is we do have the base model and the OLED, because we own one of each of those.
Yep.
To just kind of take a look at them next to each other. And then...
We'll move into our accessories.
We'll move into our accessories, but if this is all you came to the video for, then we can move on there. So just a quick comparison. That is mostly screen. Huh?
So that did a little hop.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
Well, the camera's where the camera is. We can't do much about it. All right, so that's that. That is basically all screen. Here we can see a normal, original model Nintendo Switch.
Like no
so a
screen.
Significantly smaller screen, significantly smaller in length console. I think slightly smaller in length height of console, but barely. It's actually not much. And then I would say right at the same thickness of console.
Yeah, just
yours has
about.
a really crappy
Mine
kickstand.
Has this terrible kickstand.
Oh, it's horrible.
I hate.
It's horrible. And then we get rid of that bezel on the previous one, and we have our OLED, right? Which is still significantly shorter in length, but not as much. Slightly shorter in height because it should be the same as the Switch, but not a ton. And again, right around the same thickness of console. So I would say that generally this one feels nicer to hold, but it's not a ton of a difference. All right. There we have it. The Nintendo Switch 2. We're super excited to break into this thing and to get playing the console and trying the console, to get playing Mario Kart World and get a review out to you guys of what we think, if we think it's worth it, if it's a good use of your money, if you should take your chances with your local Best Buy, because hopefully there is stock in. Ashley's falling asleep off camera over there.
I'm not falling asleep.
But yeah, so we would love to hear what you guys think down in the comments below, and we're super excited to get more videos out in the future to you guys, but we wanted to get this one out pretty quickly, so hopefully... Fingers crossed,
you're
seeing this on release date and not horribly late on release day. Like, not like 10 p.m. on release day.
No.
So we're shooting for what? Maybe like a 3 o'clock? 4 o'clock? We'll say 4
p.m.
4 p.m. If everything works out, 4 p.m. on release day would be super great.
No, we're saying 4 p.m. because 1:15 on release day.
That is a 20-something minute video unboxing the Switch, but
period.
Let's jump into a little bit of accessories here, which is not going to take us very long, but I do just want to see what this beautiful Ultimate Starter Kit looks like. So, we've already latched this a little bit so that it'll make this opening process a bit quicker for us.
But yeah, we ended up going with this instead of buying. They had like the case and the screen protector separately and other stuff like that. So we ended up going with this just because, well, it was going to be only a little bit more money. You know, they were selling a lot of the same things. It's probably all in there.
It is.
They were selling a lot of these things separately. They were like, you know what, might as well just buy it all together.
Yep. So this is the Next brand case. So obviously it's not going to have the whole like Switch stuff on it, but that's okay. Honestly.
That's alright. We'll live.
And the Switch has like the colored thing. Like, whatever. Honestly,
I can paint them.
Maybe it's less likely to be stolen if it doesn't actually say Nintendo Switch on it. And think about that one, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so then opening up into it, we've got a bunch of different stuff to get to. The case itself comes with what appears to be 10 game cartridge holder, which is nice.
Perfect.
Then we have our different screen protectors. I'm going to assume this smaller one is for the Switch 1, but it's got everything you need with the glass wipes, glass drying, dust absorbing stickers that you can use, and then you put on the screen protector.
Nathaniel will absolutely finally be putting a screen protector on my Switch. I've had it for almost a year. There is no screen protector.
100%. Honestly, this is a very like nice, pretty like
good.
Dense case. So I'm excited for the fact that like if I were to drop it or something in this,
or
like,
we take it on a plane,
like this is pretty nice. I'm not as worried about it. You know.
Facts. All right.
Getting absolutely demolished.
Yeah.
And then up here in the top, we should have the other stuff that's supposed to come with this, which this is. Oh. Okay. So these are space adapters that make it a smaller case for a normal Switch.
Nice.
So this is wide enough to fit
the Switch 2.
The Switch 2, right? So if I wanted to, we just plop that bad boy in there. Boom.
Oh, there's a nice fit.
There's our Switch 2. Nicely snug as a rug. Snug as a bug in a rug. There we go. He got there. But you can then take these placers
and put them in there to make my Switch
and
fit.
put them in there to make the top shorter and the sides shorter, which then fits a Switch or Switch OLED, it actually says on here. I don't know if that's true. Maybe you only use one spacer for the Switch OLED or something. But yeah,
that's nice though.
It's good to know that works out nicely. I'm going to get him out of here.
Yeah.
Let's see how easy it is to get him out of here, huh?
And you probably just got to tip him out. I'm being serious.
That's probably the best way to do it, yeah. Is to just... Oh, Lord. Don't die. There we go. And he's all secure. What a lad. Alright, bring it down. And the last tidbits we should have in here is our adapter for mobile charging, which is just a USB-C adapter, which that is a difference, because I think this one's just a straight-up cord.
Yep.
This can be used for anything with a USB-C, so...
That's nice.
You know...
Especially with an older car like yours.
Technically a pro. A nice long USB-C to USB-C cord. This is a good quality USB-C to USB-C cord, so that's nice. Set those aside. And then...
bumpers.
Yeah.
Are in that case in your hand. Oh, they're not.
They're not.
Are they in there?
It would appear so.
Okay. Never mind.
Yep.
We're chilling.
Yep. The little...
Bumpers.
Yeah, the analog stick add-ons are in there. So then this is the... This doesn't seem like the right shape, but I guess it is.
It is.
We could grab
so you can actually pull it out in there. That's what that divot is for.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't have a game on hand, but I guess that's so you put the game in, this here.
Yeah,
It's a little bit givey, so it probably like squishes it in, grabs it, friction, and then you can pop it out. Yeah. And then each of them also has a smaller case if you want to store different micro SD cards.
That's nice.
Which is nice. Not that, you probably... Is this just...
Magnet.
Yeah, it's magnet. Man, how much we like magnets. This is awesome. I am pro magnet right now, so... Okay.
Woo!
And then it's got a nice zipper area up here if you wanted to store some of that stuff with it. If you wanted to store this in it, or the chargers, or anything like that. So we're going to get this stuff put back in here. But that is it. Those are our accessories, which I am pretty excited about.
Me too, honestly.
Like this is a good pickup of just like
a good pickup.
Everything we need. What?
So I chose good. I did right.
Did you choose this?
Yes.
I forgot, honestly. Like, was this... Were you in support of this one? Okay.
This was the thing that I went, hey, look, they have a bundle.
That has all of this stuff.
That has all of it.
Yeah, no, that was a really good call then. Really good
Because you were looking
call.
at the case.
Yeah, exactly.
And you were looking at the screen protector,
we would have
spent
We would have spent $45 on less.
Yeah.
Significantly less. And so the I think it was $50 or something for just the whole shebang.
I think it might have been 40.
I think it was 50, but I don't know.
We have to look at the receipt.
Pretty good. Nice.
Solid.
Case, solid bundle here. I feel like my Switch would be pretty protected.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it has the versatility, which is interesting because you're not going to see a whole lot of versatile cases because the Switch 2 is a different size than the Switch 1. So those spacers is actually like kind of
really nice. Because I was like, wait, if it fits the Switch 2 and my Switch is so much smaller, how are we going to make my Switch fit?
Okay, well, that's that. Do we want to...
Woo!
Want to slap the bad boy back in frame just so that everyone can see him. But there it is. Ye old Nintendo Switch 2 looking beautiful.
Crazy.
And it's not very ye old because it is release day. So we hope you guys enjoyed the video. We didn't say this at the beginning because we wanted to just kind of jump into Switch stuff. Yeah. But if you do enjoy these videos or you want to check out more from the channel, we've got all sorts of content. We'd love to have you stick around. Like the video, comment down below for anything you guys want to see. And of course, subscribe to the channel to make sure you're caught up on all of our awesome videos. We'd love to have you guys be part of such a wonderful community that is our little Roll School community. So thank you guys for being so awesome. Is that everything?
It is.
I feel like that is too. All right, well, we'll see you guys in the next video. We cannot wait to start reviewing and getting to test this and getting this video up for you guys and everything else that we plan to do. But in that meantime, we hope all of the rolls are ever in your favor. And we will see you guys next time. Peace out.
Bye, y'all.